This programme is brought to you by vinny.co.uk.
Welcome back, Champions League pool on Free Sports. We're about to get into our penultimate match of the evening. Rob Wharne takes on Neil Raybone. Neil just needs a point to qualify. If Rob were to win, that could force Neil into a shootout. The last match of the night is for the big one. Aaron Davies and Phil Harrison is 1-on-1. Only one of them can qualify through. We'll keep you up to date with all the stipulations and permutations and all the nicks and knacks as we go through. This is the key for next up, though. Rob Wharne versus Neil Raybone. Neil needs a point to qualify. Draw would be enough for Razor Raybone to secure his place on finals night. It's Neil with the break first up. He has been breaking beautifully all evening. Reminder, if you're just joining us, 20-minute matches to a 20-second shot clock. Winner is the first to four, or the score at 0 seconds, whichever comes first. It's another great break from Neil Raybone, and probably for the first time in a little while, actually, for Neil, considering the match we've just watched him play against Aaron, Simon, that he's got a pretty forgiving spread. This is a good chance for a break and dish.
Yeah, and he had 3 breaking dishes in his first match against Phil Harrison, but none in the last because the balls just didn't open up for both of them. They were congested frames all the way through. It was one of the more tactical matches we have seen. Good chance, though, as you say, for Neil in this one. Does have to play 1 or 2 good developing shots just to open things up a little bit more. Yellow next to the 8 ball. He doesn't necessarily have to move it, but he could play on it into the centre pocket. So there is a route without moving things. But moving things may help. Maybe looking to nudge into it now. Another miss. A couple of misses in his last match, which we weren't expecting. There's another one there.
Yeah, just starting to creep in, aren't they? He was so lethal in his first match, Neil. Just don't expect him to miss, but last match against Aaron, and just there has been a little bit more of that, just starting to creep in. Well, that took too big a bounce, and he's got a reprieve. It's a tough shot, that, for Rob, but it's a shot that he'd love to have back.
Well, Rob's ultra aggressive anyway, but now that he's out, or he can't qualify, it's just going to be even more aggressive if that was possible. It has just opened up the frame here for Neil, who I'll be very surprised if he doesn't take these out second chance. We know he didn't take it out first chance, but he won't care if he does get the frame on the board. I think he was playing to make both of those in that shot. Just the way he played it.
Oh, made it look quite easy in the end. It did Neil Raybone, and in he goes for 1-0. Win in the end for Razor, but he'd have been annoyed initially at that missed pot. Wasn't made to pay, though. Maybe he's just earned that little bit of leeway, that little bit of luck, because usually tonight one mistake has been all it takes for something to go wrong for you.
Yeah, absolutely. At this level, one mistake can cost you not just 1 frame, but 2 or 3. The way these players can play. But Neil's one of the best players and he's got one of the best temperaments as well. So a missed pot like that to the corner, he doesn't let that annoy him. He can be frustrated when he goes to his chair, but by the time he gets back to the table for another opportunity, he's forgotten about it and gets on with it. It's easier to do that when your next opportunity comes a few seconds later.
Rob has been breaking really well for most of tonight. 8-ball on the move again. That's another hammer. He's been really close, I think, to the level required. You always got the sense that Rob would have to play almost to his best to get through tonight.
Red ball's in play.
He's okay. White might not be all right though. Soon see. But you got the sense that Neil, Phil and Aaron could maybe get through with their B games. But you just got the sense that Rob did have to play to his level to be up there, and he hasn't quite got that far just as yet. Having said that, that's a pretty good double.
Yeah, it's not bad. He's chasing a finish though. I have to agree with you. I think Rob was going to have to play some of his best pool to get through tonight, but I think it's the second match he played against Phil Harrison. Okay, he lost the first match, but he lost the first match to an Aaron Davis playing brilliantly well. You know, Aaron didn't make a mistake in that match, so you know, you can't. Sometimes you just have to say well played and get on with the next match. But in the next match, you know, that mistake from Rob at 2-0 up when it looked like he should go 3-0, that's going to really come back to haunt him. Because if he had wrapped up that match like we felt he should, you know, he'd be sat there with a great chance to at least get himself in a shootout, if not qualify in this match. A victory would put him through if that had been the case. You know, I know things unfold differently, but you know, I think that's when he gets home tonight, that's going to be the shot, that foul in the match against Phil. He's going to remember that shot.
It was such a bad one as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was one he'd love to have back.
Extension call.
He's got an extension here, Rob. He's got potential here, but this is him going chasing. What's he got for us? It is a safety. It's not that easy for Neil to go game here. Rob has just made this frame ugly. It's a clever shot from Neil, because whatever Rob plays here will be of benefit to Neil Raybone. He's done a pretty good job of not doing that. It's opening up a fraction, but that was as good as Rob could have played that shot, acknowledged as such by Neil.
Delicate, wasn't it? Very delicate.
It's a really good shot, that. One of the ones that'll fly well under the radar, but that was as good as he could have played it. And Neil will just do the same again. It's really tough here for Rob not to open up Neil's yellows. That's what Neil's trying to bait Rob into doing. And there's the error.
Ball in hand, time running.
Still difficult for Neil to get this bad yellow out. Looks like he's going to pop the yellow to this bottom corner and screw back into it. Oh, he's missed it. That's a poor shot from Neil to miss that cannon on the cluster of 3 balls. When you can place the
hand as well.
Yeah, cue ball in hand to miss that is poor for a player of Neil's ability.
Yeah, that's a really loose one from Neil. Sort of thing you'd expect him to make. You know, 99 times out of 100, maybe even more. It really was that easy for him. Real loose one, but he's just going to force Rob to try and give him another opportunity.
Well, this time he hasn't been able to keep it safe. And if Neil can see this yellow to the centre pocket, then it's a great chance. If not, he's got to take the yellow to the top right corner first, but I think he can see the one to the centre.
This might be enough. 8-ball is something he has to worry about a little bit. It's not in a pleasant position at all.
Especially if he leaves the yellow nearest the 8 ball as his last ball, because if he finishes just off straight the wrong way, then he's going to go into the red rather than being able to get on the 8 ball. If he needs to be straight or just off straight so that he can use the right hand side cushion. So precision onto your last ball is all important. I think in an ideal world, Neil would like to not have to move the cue ball too far on this. I wonder whether he had so much angle he'd have to go on and off the cushion to get back across, but he has been able to hold it. He does have an angle where he's not going into the red, so absolutely fine.
So this for 2-0.
In it goes. Good stuff from Neil. Needed a couple of opportunities again, but he was able to get that second opportunity. A couple of good safety shots to earn the opportunities he needed, and he is looking to be in a very strong position for qualification now. Of course, he needs just a point out of this match, and at 2-0 up and quite a bit of the clock gone. I think he's going to be pretty content with where he is and what he has left to do. Well, we can now pop out and get a few words with Phil Harrison, who's now with Stephen Jameson.
Yeah, Phil, thanks for joining us. How much have you enjoyed the quarterfinals so far?
Yeah, it's been good fun, but I just struggling with the clock today.
2-0.
We noticed that in your second match. First match, it seemed to be quite good for you, but the second, with it being tactical and you're needing to play having some thought-out shots, it seemed to be you were running around the table a little bit. Is it something you're slowly getting used to, or do you feel it was just that match?
I don't know, I just think I was terrible in that match, but I just got away with it. But, I've had to cut in a black somewhere along the match, and I'm just struggling with it today. But hopefully in the next match I can put it right, hopefully.
Well, it's all to play for, isn't it, in this last match? You versus Aaron,
Yeah.
almost winner takes all really for a spot in that last four. What are your thoughts on Aaron, first of all, as an opponent?
Well, Aaron, he's a brilliant player. He's improving all the time. He's young, and he's already won big tournaments and got to the final of the IPA World Championships. So and he beat me in I think a few months back in one of the other ones. So he's a good player. Yeah.
Well, we can't wait to watch you go toe to toe. Best luck.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, a massive break from Neil, but not the opportunity he was really looking for. He is starting to chase one though. That's a good plant from distance. It's still not an easy finish, even though he's only got 3 left. Right on the right hand side, doesn't have a pocket. Could land on a double if he can get the white back out into a nice position from here. Oh, brilliant. Great control to cannon that red as softly and as precisely as he did. Has an angle if he wanted to, he could play into the red. If he wants to, he can just play the double. It is the double. Don't know if he's just a fraction short from making it easy.
Shot.
Had to play that with quite a bit of pace and bottom on the cue ball just to straighten the angle up on that double.
He looks the business, doesn't he, Neil Raybone? He really does. Superb.
That was a finish he had to chase all the way through, but it just shows how the class he is, because he did manage to get all the way through it.
It was lovely there to hear from Phil Harrison. We'll chat about his match with Aaron in a little bit. A reminder for those just joining us of the Razors accolades. Former Premier League champion on this channel. He was the #1 ranked player on the IPA as of last year as well, which is some achievement, really is.
He's one of the most consistent players
Fourth
you'll see.
frame.
I feel like
Rob
with
Wharne
Neil,
to
he
break.
never seems to
Trailing
lose a
3
match to
frames for
somebody
Neil.
that you wouldn't
Front
expect him to. He only ever seems to lose against great players. He's consistently in quarterfinals, semi-finals, finals. He wins tournaments. He's such a good, just consistent and solid player. And I think the reason he is that is because of his shot selection and the way he goes about it. It's very rare he has a bad day.
Red ball's in play.
Rob is going to try and make light work of this fourth frame. Sledgehammer a break, and these reds are gimmies. Could be one of our quickest frames of the tournament here.
Yeah, without a golden break, this may well be the quickest breaking dish we've had in the event.
Oh, absolutely there for Rob. Neil won't worry too much. He knows he's got the break to come back and try and clear, but that's all you can do if you're Rob Wharne. Great clearance.
Frame.
In absolutely next to no time. Keeping our ref busy. And a reminder of what we're looking at here with Aaron Davies. He is a World Championship runner-up as of last year. He's got Phil Harrison to come in our next match.
I have to say, hearing a few words from Phil, he just sounded a little bit down with the way he's played so far today, isn't he? Wasn't really, he's obviously upset with the way he's played so far, but he still has qualification in his own hands. If he goes out there and beats Aaron, then he knows he's safely through. So, he just needs to remind himself of that. Monster break, but dry.
Yellow ball's in play.
Rob does need to develop the 8-ball. Wonder if one of these yellows can be played off the 8-ball. I'm not sure if it can be from this camera angle or not.
Well, he's here for a good time, not a long time here, is Rob. He's got 7 minutes left in the competition. And he's wanting to go down on his sword, as it were. Knows he can't qualify, but huge credit to him for giving us a show. Oh, it was tough. I think he was just wanting a little glance off that yellow by the look of how he played that. Not quite to be for Rob.
Yeah, he looks frustrated, doesn't he? Knows he's out of the competition, trying to put on a show and fight his way back into this match, but it's tough when you know you're already out.
Oh, that's a really good shot from Neil. Had to get that one right, otherwise he'd lost the frame.
Yeah, it was. If you were trying to land on the 8-ball to put it in the centre, it would have been almost impossible. But you're always fearing when you play into it like that you're going to knock it in somehow. And now these are wide open. You want to leave the reds at the top of the table for your last couple, I suspect, but he has an option to go either way. Just one shot really to get right, and then this frame is going to be pretty simple for a player of Neil's ability. Just the shot when he travels up to the middle of the table. He's got loads of margin of error as well. Assuming Neil does wrap this up, he's been a really good value for his performance tonight and his qualification through to finals night.
Yeah, got to give him a whole lot of credit.
He started off the night against Phil Harrison, who was the bookies' favourite to qualify. Neil was the second favourite with the bookies, and he started off with 3 break dishes on the trot. Really set his, his stall out really early in that match and really early in the night. And from there, he's had to work hard for a couple of finishes and play some really good percentage pool along the way as well. But he's never looked anything other than solid.
Well, for a 4-1 win, Neil Raybone is through to finals
Neil
night.
Raybone.
The razor as sharp as ever. A super night's work from Neil Raybone, who wins 2 of his matches and draws the other to remain unbeaten, and he is a finalist. Fantastic performance from Neil Raybone, who secures his place in finals night. Simon, and as the standard for finals night goes, that's a pretty good first entry.
Yeah, absolutely, and not a bad addition to the lineup when he was a later entry to this competition. He's now made it through his group and he's now into finals night. But everyone that knows Neil Raybone, we've seen him plenty of times on Free Sports. We saw him win the Premier League on Free Sports. We all know all about Neil Raybone, and if he was in the lineup from the start, then we would have fully expected him to be one of the players that could well go through and not just make the finals night, but lift the trophy. So well done to Neil.
Yeah, he'll be hoping to do just that. His night's work is done. 2 men who still have it all to play for are Aaron Davies and Phil Harrison. It is winner takes all. And that's
This programme is brought to you by Vinny.co.uk.